Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 465 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gamer podcast for Words About Games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander, joined this week by the glorious one himself. It's Daffin Moody.
Let's get ready to rumble! Loudly doodly do, everybody! It's Friday! You know what that means. It is video game day. The holiest of days. All hail video games because they are awesome. How is everybody?
You see, you let's get ready to rumble. You're giving people false expectations like we're going to have another one of our famous arguments.
Right? Who knows?
I don't think we are.
There's no endorphins in my brain right now, so it's like if there's an argument, you're winning easily. So don't worry.
Is this what this whole podcast is about? It's like I need some adrenaline. Time to start a fight.
Yeah. Let's start a fight, Amy. Yeah,
I'm not starting a fight with you.
You smell there. There's a fight.
Everybody smells. It's just a fact of life.
That's true. All right, round one to you. Say no endorphins. I'll give up really fast.
How's it going? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, not bad. I'm a bit tired. Well, I'm very tired. I won't lie. But overall, I am not bad. I'm pretty chill. And the week's been pretty good.
Cool.
I can't complain.
Can't complain. You can't complain. I mean, that's always the sign of a good week, right? It's like, I have nothing to complain about, apart from all of the normal stuff, world, society.
World ending, yeah.
Yeah, we used to.
I think it's time to end, I won't lie, like.
It's like, we've had a good run. We've had a run.
I'll say, well, I don't think we've had a good run.
Yeah, I amended my statement. I was like, we've had a long time to get this shit right.
Yeah.
We've continuously.
It was either going to succeed or fail, and it looks like it's going to fail.
Maybe
so it's all good.
Maybe it's time for the birds or some shit to take over.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, they had their time as well, though, the birds.
I suppose, yeah, because that's like dinosaurs were birds. All right, maybe it's time for the fucking squirrels to take over. I don't know, like.
Mammals. I'm pretty sure mammals had their time as well.
We're mammals.
I know, that's the thing.
Let the fucking octopi take over.
That's something that's not been discovered yet. Take over. It's something underground that's just biding its time. Like the lizards from Doctor Who. They're just biding out their time.
Maybe something just like to crawl out of the Mariana Trench. And although I am just describing a Lovecraft story at this point, but
if James Cameron came back from it, all right, there's obviously nothing down there.
James Cameron went down the Titanic. He definitely didn't go down the Mariana Trench because it's too deep. No one can go down.
He did.
Trench. No, I guarantee the Mariana Trench is so deep he would have been crushed into a pancake.
He went in it. He did a documentary for it. He built the technology and went in it down there by himself. Reese, have a look. You're wrong.
I'm not disputing that he went part way down the Mariana Trench. Nobody's been at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It's physically impossible.
Okay, maybe you're not all the way. That's fair there, but that's not what you're arguing at the time.
I'm talking about something crawling out from the deepest, darkest realms of the ocean where nobody is, like a Star Trek says, when no one has gone before. Like, let's just see what crawls out, right? Because there's some fucked up shit in the ocean.
Godzilla.
There's some fucked up real shit in the ocean.
That's true.
Actually, no. You're onto something there. What if we launch a nuke into the Mariana Trench and then see what comes out?
What's the worst that could happen?
For science.
The whales are already attacking our boats, so they're telling us stuff. They're telling us to fuck off. They're like, "Yo, get out of our sea! You're ruining it. Go away."
I'm joining the whales' war on yachts on the side of the whales. Like, I think they've got a good point. And
they got a good point.
I like the platform. Yeah. It's a one issue topic, but it's an issue I happen to agree with them on.
They're like, get out of our sea.
And I'm like, fair.
Full on Harrison Ford. Stop leasing your shit down here. How many boats are down here, for God's sakes?
You build a boat that's not gonna sink. Like, please, God,
Yeah.
like, you've had enough time, okay? We've had enough of this shit.
We've had enough. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I get that. I get that. That's probably why they're attacking the boats, because they're like sick of them coming down there to their area.
Yeah, all that fucking oil and petrol and billionaires, like fucking all three of those things are equally as bad.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, no, yeah, I've had a good week. I've finally made it to Dragon Age: The Veil God.
I heard.
I'm finally there. The game that all of this started so I could play Dragon Age: The Veil God. Now here I am.
The thing is about it, you can't carry over anything from those previous games to that game. So it feels like it's a bit of waste of time at the same time.
Well, like, it's still the same world, right? With the same like backstory and lore and stuff. It's just like most of your decisions that you have made, like through the past games, like aren't carried over, which I'm fine with. Like, you know, like it's a new protagonist. You're in an entirely new part of the world. Like, it does only like ask you for 3 choices that you made in Dragon Age Inquisition, which is strange. It's like, okay, well, I'm guessing the Inquisitor is going to be in here at one point because I had to rebuild my Inquisitor in the character creator, so I guess she's going to turn up. But no, it's good. Like, I'm glad I replayed the other games first. Like the first part, like the first hour or so, like, is definitely like, it hits more if you remember what happened previously.
Fair.
Like, which I obviously didn't, because it was 10 years ago. Like, when the game came out, it would have been 10 years ago. But like, I'm a bit annoyed that like it probably, like, I would have the opening scene and like bit probably would have, I probably would have enjoyed it more if it hadn't have been most of the trailer that we saw. that long gameplay trailer, I was like, okay, I've seen this bit already.
Yeah.
Like, but it was still good, and I'm having fun with it. It's a very jarring game to like play because it's a massive shift in art style, gameplay, and tone from previous games. So it takes a minute to sort of like get your bearings and be like, oh, what the fuck? Like, the gameplay is definitely closer to God of War than like an RPG, which is very strange.
Well, they were slowly pulling away from RPG-ness anyway.
Yeah,
from
like,
when they hit the number 2 that I know of. I never played 2, but I'm just going off what a previous boss who loves the games always said.
Like, it's definitely like, but it's like different flavors of RPG. Whereas this is definitely obviously still like an action RPG, but it's like the action part is like bold and italics and capitalized and size 50.
And then the RPG part is very small and hidden away in the background.
It's actually not. Like, I'm enjoying the character I'm playing, Rook.
You would hope so. It's your character.
I'm enjoying the interactions. I only have like a few of the companions. They really like spread out the companion recruitments, and it's an interesting game. Like, I'm enjoying it. Not that far in.
Well, that's all that matters. That's all we want to hear, is that you're enjoying it at the end of the day.
It's set up around like doing building combos between all of your party members, but the issue I'm having, and it's not like, oh, it's bad, it's just like the issue I'm having with engaging with that system is, as a warrior, which is the class that I chose, the game gave me a special ability which lets me drop kick enemies, and there are a lot of ledges, and it works on bosses. So I've just been like, instead of like, oh, I'll build this to then combo with this other person's special move, it's just like, I'm going to use dropkick, and the enemy is going to fly off of the cliff and die. and that works on a surprising amount of enemies. So it's like, why would I do the other thing?
It's basically the Spartan kick that was in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah. A lot of people just use that for a lot
like,
of
if it works, okay. But like, I'm gonna get to a boss where I'm gonna need to have like not
done other
mastered,
things.
but have like gotten to grips with the combo system, and I'm not going to be able to drop kick them off a cliff, and then I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I can't use gravity. I'm fucked.
But what if it works and you can kick
Like,
him off the cliff?
Dragon Age Inquisition would have definitely been, and I love Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age Inquisition would have definitely been a better game if I could have drop kicked Corypheus off the fucking flying city at the end of the game. Like, I'd have enjoyed that greatly. Just woof, like you do his speech, and then the combat starts, and I just fucking whoop, bam, and he just flies. See you later, Corypha, bitch.
I'm glad you're enjoying it so far. It's good to hear.
Yeah, man, I am. But why don't we talk about some other things that we've been enjoying this at the beginning of this podcast? Because this is a thing we do at the beginning of every podcast called "Cool Things We Like," where we talk about some cool things we like. Because we're all trying to get away from the algorithm and how terrible it is, and the best way to do that is through personal recommendations. So we'd like to set some time aside at the beginning of podcasts to talk about a cool trailer or film or TV show or book or comic book or anything that we have enjoyed, and we would like recommend that you maybe check it out if it's something you're into. And since I just waffled about Dragon Age for a little bit, I think you should go first on this one, Moody.
We're dining well in sci-fi, Amy, at long last. No, not Star Trek, sadly. I haven't touched that yet. And going off what you and Vitz have told me, and also Jesse Gender has also said about it, I don't think I want to touch the certain seasons so far. But what I am talking about is Alien Earth. Sci-fi in its goddamn goodness, and it's doing it well. It's expanding the lore in a really interesting, unique way. Every character is different and unique, and it's very interesting to see what they're going to do with it. They're really leaning into the artificial intelligence part, which has always been an element to the Alien franchise in general. I'm loving the characters. I'm loving the writing. The Alien has been absolutely devastating in such an awesome way. I love that they're not hiding it. They're just like, I was wondering, are they gonna at the time when it was leading up to it, before I saw the first 2 episodes last week, I was wondering if they were going to be hiding the alien or anything like that, and they don't. Which I think is good. Like, it's like, we know what it is. Why are you hiding the thing? You already know what it is.
This isn't Alien. This is Aliens. All right, like, let's just set the out of the gate right away.
Well, they hit the aliens in Aliens as well. Like, you don't see them for a while, but yeah, it's right now. It's been masterfully done. It's really, really good TV show that I think if they nail it by the end of it, we could have an all-timer on our hands here. Really, really intriguing what they're doing right now. Like, I love what they started with the beginning of the very first episode, just leaning into 3 things right at the beginning to just like showing you, okay, this is basically where we're going. The aliens obviously in it, but I'm also loving like the new aliens that they brought into this show and everything, because they're the more intriguing things than the alien is, even though the alien is still very much a prevalent thing, which is understandable because it's Alien Earth and whatnot. But the new ones that have been brought in, I'm very intrigued to see what happens with them in the rest of the season as well. Yeah, great writing. Great show. Been directed wise, I think it's been masterful. Like, it's visually a stunning show.
It's the rule of horror, isn't it? Yeah, you can either go one of 2 directions to make a really good horror film, or horror show, like an Alien thing, which is either you have to have really good characters that you give a shit about, so you're worried for them, and their fate, or it has to be enjoyable to watch them get picked off one by one. If you have like bland, boring characters, no one's going to give a shit when the alien starts fucking them up, right?
Yeah, like the big boss man, who's basically a child. Excuse me, he acts like a child, but he's a very interesting character, and I'm very intrigued. I'm gonna guess he gets killed at the end, probably, or something like that. But I'm very intrigued to see it, and it's just, you also like they've got a very much Peter Pan-ness throughout the entire type of show. Like you've got characters who are literally named after like the characters in the show, in the film, like Wendy and everyone else and everything throughout it. And I'm interested in, like, they even call the hybrids Lost Boys and everything, which I think is how it's all working and everything. It's a very interesting metaphor that they're using for it throughout. And I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it.
Awesome. I'm glad. I like it when people like things. It's weird. I'm a weird person. What can I say? I don't feed off.
You are a weird person.
I'm someone who makes YouTube videos, and I don't feed off of other people's misery.
That is true.
That makes me strange.
That is true.
That's cool. My cool thing this week, shockingly enough, on a podcast called the Words About Games podcast, is actually a video game trailer. That we got this week from, because it's Gamescom, right? So you get lots of game announcements, and like one that like I would have like if we had sat down and done a podcast like last week, right? And we were like, let's name 200 video games that we think might get announced next week. I wouldn't have come close to saying that. There's a new Star Trek Voyager game that's been announced. In the year of our maker, 2025, they announced a new Star Trek Voyager video game. And I watched the trailer for it, and then I read the Steam page for it, and I was like, oh, fuck, I think I'm into this. Like, it's a story-driven survival strategy game where basically the game starts, and like, you know how Voyager starts. They get pulled into the Delta Quadrant. The ship's all a bit fucked up and stuff.
Spoilers!
It's the first episode of a TV show that came out in the 90s. And then, like, the game is cool. So, like, you've seen Voyager, presumably. Now it's your turn to see if you can get the ship home. Like, so you have to, like, fly it from, like, get it home, like, make lots of decisions. I'm looking at, like, the screenshots on the Steam page, and it's, like, there's definitely, like, story scenarios that are, like, episodes from the show.
You definitely you could see from the trailer there's certain elements that they showed, like when they met the Borg and everything like that. There's elements there.
I've seen that part of the show, right? And then like some of the quest names that are in the on the screenshots, I'm like, those are episode titles, and like it's a game I didn't know I needed until I saw it, and I was like, oh, this looks crunchy. I like this. Like, you've got to manage the ship, repairs, and like choose like upgrade paths, like choose whether to take risks, like, or whether to play it safe. And you pick your away teams based on like different characters and like their different abilities and stuff. And like one of the main tags on the Steam page is interactive fiction, so I'm going to assume there's going to be a lot of like story like driven stuff as well. Fuck, I'm so into this idea.
I haven't properly had a look at it, but what I did see from the trailer, it does look intriguing. I won't lie. Are we throwing Chakotay out of the airlock straight away, though?
Like, I'm not necessarily going to throw Chakotay out the airlock, but like, if there's an extremely dangerous away mission that comes up early on, like, I mean, and he happened to not come back from it. I mean, hey, these things happen. You're in the Delta Quadrant. Yeah. It's dangerous.
Especially if he goes by himself. Why would you do this, Chakotay?
It's like McCoy says in Star Trek 09. It's like space is disease and darkness, wrapped in danger and death. Some people might not be coming back. But no, like,
will Kim get promoted earlier?
I'd love it if you could promote Harry Kim and then immediately a disaster befell the ship.
Of course it will. Of course, you just know that will happen.
A consequence of promoting Harry Kim, it's like everything goes to shit. But no, like, it's just such like, this is what I love about like video games. It's like, it's not necessarily the ones I see coming. Like, it's like, there's no way I could have seen this specific game in a million years. And then like, I saw people talking about it, and I was like, there's no way there's a Star Trek Voyager game. This has to be some kind of elaborate internet joke I'm not a part of. And then it's like, yeah, there is. I'm like, fuck, this sounds cool as well. Like, it's not just like, oh, it's a Star Trek theme. It's like, this sounds good. Fuck, I'm in.
It does.
I'm in. So that's my cool thing.
Like the last Star Trek game we played together, we did enjoy.
Star Trek
There was
Resurgence.
problems with it, but it was still an enjoyable game that we really had a lot of fun with.
Yeah, I think if I played it now after bug fixes and whatnot, I think it would be a better time for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it definitely came out a little too early. So,
but no, this is such a cool idea. Like, I love just twists on it, right? It's like, you know, a Star Trek strategy game, a Star Trek flight sim. It's like that's the easy stuff. Like someone basically said, "What if you could just play Star Trek Voyager, the TV show?"
Basically, that's what the pitch clearly was to Paramount. So, yo, we got a pitch.
Here's the pitch. And if I had been the executive in that room, I'd have been like, "Fuck, how has no one thought of this?"
Yeah. Like the year of hell can actually have consequences.
It can actually happen.
Even though I love those 2 episodes and I'll defend them, but I also see where people come from and say, why did they do a whole reboot thing? You know, we had no consequences whatsoever. I completely agreed with that.
Why wasn't this expanded out the show? You know what I mean? Yeah. Expanded across 7 seasons, or it's like not necessarily like everything is bad all the time, but like why wasn't it like things that happen can fuck you up, you know what I mean, and have longer lasting consequences. And Voyager's fine as a TV show, I enjoy it, but yeah, Year of Hell is especially grating in one way, because it's like this could have been the show. And it's fucking great, it's great.
Yeah, it's a great time, that those 2 and everything. But yeah, you never felt like anyone was really gonna die, and when Kess left, everyone was just like, so.
Everyone was too distracted when Kess left.
Yeah, by 7 of 9. Who was that person for those first 3 seasons we had? I don't know. We don't know who that person is. Don't know.
She was
season only gets good from season 4.
She was such an awkward character, man, because canonically she's 3 years old or whatever, and Neelix is infatuated with her, and it's but I know she only lives till she's 10 or whatever, but still she's 3. This is awkward. And then we got the cat suit.
I started watching more.
I was a regular viewer from season 4
when I got the TV remote. I was a kid I was a young teenager then. I didn't get the TV remote.
Yeah, it was hard to get my parents to watch Star Trek Voyager and Deep Space Nine. They weren't into either of them, which is weird. Because I only started watching Star Trek because my dad watched The Next Generation in the original series. So it was weird when it was I want to watch Star Trek. No, why? Fine, I'll just go buy the videos. And I did.
Good times.
When you used to get 2 episodes per tape.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of videotapes.
And they weren't fucking cheap back then either.
No. Well, luckily I ended up... I've told the story about my mom working at Blockbuster and me being able to get rentals. So I eventually just started being able to rent them. So that was good. That was useful. That was helpful for my allowance, my pocket money, my pocket money to spend on things that aren't Star Trek tapes. But yeah, no, that's my cool thing this week. Kel Supreme, it's actually a video game. I can't wait for this game. I'm gonna be all over it.
Did it give a date or a window?
It's just coming soon. It's an announcement. I'd expect it next year or the year after.
If they're showing it now, I'm gonna guess probably next year.
Yeah, I don't think it's imminent. I think I can't wait to stream it. Let's see how fast I get Voyager blown up.
Won't be that hard.
Probably not, no. But
you're surrounded by an armada within the first season.
Pish. I can talk my way out of anything. That's my Star Trek style. You got to keep those torpedoes. You never know when you might need them.
Well, they did use all of them. And never spoke about it again when they reloaded any of them.
I'm sure they found a way to build more, right?
They clearly showed. They probably did, yeah. 7 of 9's there. She's like, all right, I can make this simple, guys. We can just build them, okay?
We have replicators.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
How hard
I'm
is
sure
it?
we can figure out how to build a fucking torpedo.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
But yeah, cool. That was cool things we like. Science fiction edition.
Science fiction edition.
It's probably a lot
Yes.
of science fiction editions. We're both very big sci-fi nerds, I think.
We are. We are.
But yeah, let's roll on into the main topic. The first main topic for the day, which is brought to us by Mr. Daffy Moody, the glorious one himself.
Oh, joy. Yes. So my topic is when did 6/7 out of 10 games become bad or become irrelevant? Should I say? I think that's how I topicked it in the Discord. I think
Something like that.
Let me double check. Yeah. When was the fall of good games like /6 out of 7 out of 10 games? And why aren't as well thought, or why aren't they as well thought of anymore? So I've been seeing like a little bit of a trend, like especially since like the latest Mafia game came out, which is like got like around 6-7 out of 10s out there for the most part for a lot of people. I'm sure there's some people may have rated higher or either way, but the average is like around there. And I'm seeing like just like a couple of trends of just like that people I think I've heard like it hasn't sold well already, and I'm just like, well, let's just fucking come out, give it time, type of thing and everything. But I have been wondering, like, there's no doubt about it, we have seen a shift of just like if it ain't a 10 out of 10, 9, 10 out of 10 type of game, then anyone rarely plays it. And I won't lie, I've even kind of fallen into that type of metric to myself as well. Rightly or wrongly, I don't really know, because at the end of the day, it's what I'm gravitating to is if I want to play the game at the end of the day. But what are your thoughts, Amy, going off that and everything so far and everything? Like, I think like there's so much, like, I think all the games that I would say Microsoft have released this year, they're averaging around the 7 out of 10 mark. No one's talking about any of them.
They released
anymore, really. They came out and they're just like they've gone with the wind, basically. Oh god, I can't remember the names of these games. Doom is flown under the wind, gone like the wind.
Good movie.
What was that? South of Midnight, is it?
South of Midnight's definitely in this ballpark that you're talking about.
Gone with the wind.
Good movie.
But there's also other games. There's many more games I could boys reference and everything for this. But I'm just curious, what are your thoughts?
Like, it's probably like I'm interested to like tease out a discussion about it, because it's probably like a lot of different things going into it. Like on the high level for me, like I've kind of been making sarcastic jabs about this for a few years now, because like I feel like I might have even made one a few weeks ago, because like I feel like every year, like I've come on this podcast and on one episode or something, and there's been a game that's on OpenCritic, that's at like the 60 in the 60s or 70s, like the game you're talking about, like the 6 or 7, and been like, I really enjoyed this game, like I did Alone in the Dark last year, where it was like like the consensus was it was critically panned, even though it was in that sort of high 60s, which is just like people kind of enjoyed the game. And then the year before it was Dead Island 2. When I hurt my back, I was like, I'm stuck in a chair. Dead Island 2 has just arrived from Boomerang. I don't have anything else to do for the next few weeks. Let's just throw it in the PS5. And I actually had a really good time with that game. But I think there's a lot of combining factors as to why this is. I think
I agree with that. I will say that straight away.
I think the conversation that everybody references and sort of like games being discussed and stuff, I've started to think over the last little while that conversation is a myth and it doesn't actually exist. Like we on this podcast, we talk about games to each other, right? We have conversations about games all the time. But I think like on social media, like I feel like everyone talks past each other. Like I don't think there's a lot of conversations about games. I think there's just a lot of like people will just throw out their thoughts and then that's it. And then somebody else will throw out their thoughts on a game and then that's it. And I don't think there's necessarily actually much of a conversation happening about any newly released games. And as for this in particular, I mean, the first thing to say is it's partially, I think, the way in which game reviewers, like game review outlets and game reviewers, just use the scale of like 1 to 10 or like 1 to 100 or like whatever your scale is, 1 to 10. Is that like, you know, in theory, a 5 out of 10 is an average game, like
in theory, yeah.
In theory, but you know, you and I both know that's not true, like at all. Like I used to review games. If I gave a game a 5 out of 10, it was trash. Like that's not me saying that. That's people projecting onto my review. It's like if I gave a game a 5 out of 10, it might as well be a 1 out of 10. Like, so I think that's one big part of it. I think
there's also other factors as well going into it. I just think there's just like I think it's factor one that we've spoken about many, many times. It's just people just don't have the time, and I think a lot of games are getting completely forgotten about, especially by the wider audience and everything. And again, they stick to what is familiar to themselves and everything. Like that's why, like obviously, the sports games sell so well all the time. The Call of Duty sells all the time, all the time. And 9 times out of 10, I think a lot of people come out and say those are basically 7 out of 10 games every single year.
Yeah, I think
for a lot of people, they may get certain critics like get to a higher score, or something like that. But by the end, I think the deficit from people is like it was a good game. It was 7 out of 10. It was fine. You know, it did what I needed it to do, type of thing. And because people want that distraction for so long, they'll pick it only one certain type of game for that. And I think that's why a lot of games that are quote unquote 6 to 7 out of games that are probably better than a lot of games that I've personally mentioned there, and that's just my personal preference. I completely get overlooked, but just because the IP is more powerful than
the IP, the almighty intellectual property. No, I think time is a big factor for a variety of reasons, like
and cost.
I mean cost. Yeah.
we can go into that forever. I think
we've talked about that enough this year. Like I think in terms of like the reviews themselves, and you know that I've suffered under this when I was doing game reviews as well, is like you have to be really rapid fire with your thoughts, because you don't get a lot of time as a game reviewer to review a game.
Yes.
Like we just saw, right? Like Hollow Knight Silksong is coming out in 2 weeks, and they're not giving out game review codes. And I understand the decision behind that, to give them the Kickstarter backers first, which I think is fair. But like those reviews that come out are going to be rushed. There's also knock-on effects to that of like, how critical can you be of Hollow Knight Silksong? And what I mean by this is, let's say I'm still a game reviewer. I pick up Hollow Knight Silksong, I smash through it, I start writing my review, and for whatever reason, I'm not vibing with it. I didn't like it. Like and I've got all my different reasons, and I've got this well thought out piece of prose, you know, saying outlining it,
pros and cons, yeah.
And I give it a 6 or a 7 out of 10 just because that's where I'm at with it. But I know that if I slap that number on the end of the review, I'm not going to hear the end of it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
For a long time, because it's a beloved...
Switch off, it's offline for a while for yourself.
Yeah, it's like I'm at that point. I'm like locking down all my social media for at least 6 months, because like I'm gonna be
not doing the podcast for 6 months.
I'm gonna
all you
guys.
All
the comments are turned off on all the podcasts. It's like I know that's gonna happen to me. So it's like
first comment, where is she? Where is she?
So it's like, what if I just throw an 8 on it? You know what I mean? Like, what if I just put an 8 at the end of that thing? Because then I'm not going to have to delete my social media for the next 6 months. And it's time, like you say, it's time from our perspective as well. As like just people who play games. It's like Claire Obscure Expedition 33 came out at earlier this year. It was one of the highest rated games on OpenCritic. At the time, it was the highest rated game on OpenCritic. And it's also a very long video game. So I'm playing that because everybody fucking loves it. every game that comes out while I'm playing that, is gonna get missed by me. And then by the time I've finished that, another game is coming out that's getting massively high review scores. And if I'm someone who's trying to play the best, right, or I'm trying to find like the best things, the best use of my time, let's say, is going to be games that I enjoy the most. I know that's a shocking revelation, right? But like one of the guiding metrics of that is reviews, right? So like I'm going to be looking at those games that review the best. So then there's this big period of time in between those 2 points where it's like I'm not paying attention to anything that's coming out. So like these games that are coming out that are like 6s and 7s, you know what I mean? They're getting majorities of those scores. It's like, well, I'm probably not going to look at those games. Like hypothetically, I am going to look at those games because I'm built differently. But I can see why like those games get skipped over. Like Mafia's out right now, and hey, look, like I'm interested in Mafia, and like the reviews. Like reviews don't move the needle for me very much, so it's very weird to be in this discussion in one respect. But like, it's come out right before Hollow Knight Silksong, which I imagine
it was coming out before Hollow Knight.
No, but it's come out right before Hollow Knight Silksong, which is probably gonna get really good review scores and have a high OpenCritic average. And it's come out right after Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is another. This is one of the best
massive
reviewed games of all of the year. Like, and it's like it doesn't like, and we're in this space now where there's so many of these games coming out constantly. Like we've just had Sword of the Sea, which released this week, which is high A's on OpenCritic. So if I'm looking at reviews and I'm seeing this game, it's like this is the one that's popping off, irregardless of tastes in video games. And maybe you'll really like Mafia: The Old Country, but it's much lower on the OpenCritic average. So you might just skip over it automatically when you see all these games around it that are 80s, 90s. And then you've also got to contend with, okay, I've finished Donkey Kong. I'm not into Hollow Knight. Let's see what games I missed in the last 6 months, 12 months, 3 months, whatever, that have reviewed exceptionally well. And again, when you're going through that list, you might just automatically be filtering out those games that are getting 6s and 7s because time is finite. And it's like the correlation between, okay, I can play a good game, or like I can play like a game that is universally seen as good, or I can play a game that is universally seen as great. I'll pick the great one, even though those might be flipped for you. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no doubt. Like, it is an interesting conversation that we're having that we both don't give a flying hoot about review scores. At all. Like, especially to the numbers or anything like that. We like, if we want to see something, we'll read the article, or we'll listen to the certain YouTuber who we like or something like that, for context that they put out and everything.
Like, to go back to my cool thing that we were just talking about, Star Trek Voyager Across the Universe, or whatever it was called. Like, the reviews aren't going to shift the needle for me on that game. Like, I'm going to play it. Like, maybe it's not necessarily
I'll probably play it because I'm a Star Trek guy as well.
Yeah, because it's a game that I'm super interested in. Like, if somehow Hollow Knight Silksong comes out in 2 weeks and it's in that sort of 6 to 7 bracket, I'm still going to play it because it's a game I'm interested in. Like, it is interesting for us to have this conversation when, like, for a variety of different reasons, like Metacritic averages and review scores and aggregations and stuff don't necessarily. I think it would be unfair and incorrect to say they don't push our opinions at all. I think even subconsciously, I think it's gonna move our opinions slightly. But yeah, it's like I'll pick a game based on vibes, right? It's like, what do I want? What kind of things do I want to play? Like, how much time do I have over the next few days, weeks, whatever? But yeah, it is interesting to have this conversation, being like, well, I don't give a fuck. Alone in the Dark has a 65 on Metacritic. I'm going to play it, and then it turns out I'm going to enjoy it. And that's the secret. Like, for everything else we're about to say about review scores, kids, that's the secret. Fuck the review scores, ignore them. Do you like the look of the game based on its descriptions and its previews and maybe like what some people have said about it and its trailers? Then you go fucking play that game.
Yeah, that's fair, no doubt about it. Yeah, like we're both completely in the negative towards the review scores in general. Like we don't like them. We think it's a farce and everything. Like I said, like I heard what you and Vitz said about the Silk Song and Hollow Knight and the reviewers. I have no real sympathy for them if they are throwing out a review half-assed. If you're on a big site, then that's down to the site that needs to be sorting out the crunching and everything like that.
It's just one of those unfortunate situations where you need to be first or as close to first as possible for people to click on it. It's a whole thing that I've been through.
It's a whole thing that I disagree with, and I'm never going to have sympathy for them for that. When it comes to like other people who aren't part of a big website or anything like that, my thing would be the riff of all. I would say to them is like, take your time. This is going to be arguably the biggest game this year. Take your time. Don't rush it, because I think a lot of people getting annoyed at big sites because they feel like their reviews are rushed and all they care about is just being out there first. I think a lot of places, content creators and sites, need to slow the hell down and just put out a review in a good way.
I think you're right. Like, in an ideal world, I think that's absolutely how it should work. It's just it's not necessarily that's not how like reviewers and influencers and creators would want to do it. I think it's just that's how the internet works. Like,
oh yeah, it's no doubt. It's not a them problem. It's the internet thing.
Yeah.
It's like social media, the whole shebang of that, because people want to see things really, really fast.
Yeah, it's like
these days,
and it's not even necessarily I want to see what Hollow Knight Silk Song is like. It's like reviews are in such a weird fucking place where people aren't clicking on them to necessarily see if a game is worth buying or like playing. People want the majority of people who click into a review want their opinion validated. Like they want to see someone agreeing with them. It's one of the reasons why if I give Hollow Knight a bad review in a couple of weeks, I'm not going to do it because I don't review games anymore, and don't shout at me. It's like I would have to turn off my social media because people are going to be coming to me looking for me to say it's great and it's amazing and validate their opinions. And that's one of the big issues of game reviews lie. I think the thing about the reviews being rushed is I think it's why you see so much like almost like, I don't know, like you see opinions develop over the course of like 6 months or a year after a game comes out, where it's like it's like currents and flows, you know, it's ebbs and flows. It's why you see critical reappraisals of games a lot. I think like Final Fantasy 13's gone through this. I think Dark Souls 2 has gone backwards and forwards on this a lot, where it's just like, I think once people start to have that time after the review is published, like, and there'll be times where it's like they think about things more, and like, do you know what I mean? Like, I felt that a lot when I was reviewing games, where it's like I would put out my review of a game, and then like 6 months down the line, like maybe not necessarily my opinion has changed or completely changed about a game that I've played, but it's like I've thought more about it, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, maybe this was better than I remember, like I said it was, or this my thoughts on this specific thing about this game are definitely different than they were like 6 months ago, because now I've had time to fully digest it. It's why I personally prefer watching, like, engaging with like stuff that's like, you know, it's retrospective stuff, right? It's like I like watching a video by a person who's talking about a game from a year ago, because I feel like I'm getting more thoughtful commentary on it. And that's not necessarily the fault of game reviewers, because that's not what game reviews are for or how they're supposed to work anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. Like the game I can literally shout out for you, Last of Us Part 2. Like we've said that many times. Yeah. Like we both, I agree. We should have waited the week later to give you more time to process it.
I think I definitely, and I think I definitely would have come down. There was a lot of factors in my review of The Last of Us Part 2 and why it would definitely have been different. Like after the fact of us doing it, and a big one was I finished it in the morning. We reviewed it in the evening. That was a big one for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the other ones, I'll shout them out. I don't mind shouting out why like my opinion changed so drastically. One was I think a lot of my review was quite literally in like a defensive reaction to, you know, like the
visceral towards it,
the bigoted response to the game, the bigoted negative response to the game. And then another one was just that thing of like even like how long has it been? 5 years.
Yeah, just over 5 years now. Yeah,
like
came out May
since we
May
did
2020.
that review. It's like, and I said to you, I've very rarely talked about my opinions of The Last of Us Part 2 in public. Like I did it on that stream a little while ago that we did. And I said, like, look, I'm not going to do this again. And like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about.
No, I'm not asking you to, just so you know that.
No. But it's just a case of like, it's that similar thing of like, if I did let's say I made that video, I'm in that position of deleting my social media and turning my phone off, and like, you know what I mean? It's like, and I don't want that hassle.
No, completely agree with that. Yeah. No, I just made it just like more of just like we both agree that we should have waited, like give you more time to.
No, I think it's just
delve on it, think about it more instead of waiting, jumping into it straight away. I'm not saying your opinion would have been different from the review that you gave at the time. Obviously, things have changed and everything like that. Everyone's opinions for games change.
I think I would have just been more confident in the criticisms that I gave. During like, because I did give a lot of criticisms during that review. I think I would have just been like more confident in those, whereas I kind of papered over a lot of them. But no, I'm just bringing it all up in the way that I am because I think it's an interesting example to use as part of this discussion.
No, I agree.
Like, here are all of the reasons why my opinion not necessarily changed, but like I would have spoken a lot differently about it if we did it now. Like, I would speak a lot differently about it than I did 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I think it's another thing that's one of the big factors, obviously, that we've already spoken about is obviously cost. Like, the thing is about it that I didn't notice about at the time until recently. The Mafia, the old country, it's only £50.
Yeah, it's not a full price title.
It's not a quote unquote full price game. The full price game thing is stupid. We need to lower it, fuckers. 60 and 70 and 80 is too high. It's too fucking high. I'm sorry. I don't live in Canada or Australia where it's $100 or whatever it is for them there. I don't agree with that.
I did see Microsoft aren't releasing COD for $80.
Oh, have they come out and said that? Have they?
They're like, nope, 70. It's like, yeah, because it's a fucking stupid idea. Cost is a thing as well. Yeah. But like, I think, like, we live like, and again, I know we're not the mainstream, we're not the majority. Like, the way we play games isn't the way the majority of people who play games. But I feel like we engage more with like our community, right? Like our way of playing games is we always want to have something on the go. Like, maybe it's not necessarily religiously playing it every day, but we always want to have like, there's a game I'm playing right now. You know what I mean? Like, I'm playing Dragon Age: The Veil Guard, and like, even if I don't pick up the controller and play it for another week, like, in my head, I'm still like, I'm playing Dragon Age right now.
Yeah.
And like, I think there's a pressure from a lot of different factors that come in from like FOMO and marketing, like to always be current. You should always be playing something that's relevant, right? Like, that's kind of like this like downward pressure that like people like want to play like the hot new game necessarily. But like, you can also just play old games, and like, they're a lot cheaper. Like, so
it depends on the game.
no, like, especially when they go on sale and stuff like that. I'm not necessarily talking about when games are full price, right? It's like, you can pick up a game like when I sent you that picture of Dragon Age, like, when I was like, it's 20 quid. Like, what the fuck? And that's when I bought it, right? Like, so like, the cost thing is very interesting because it's like, you can just hold off on a game until it goes on sale. Like, you can definitely buy a game at full price, but there is like, as games become more expensive, which is what's happening right now. Like, it wasn't that long ago that it was $60, or in this country, you know, a full price game 5 years ago was £50, and then all of a sudden it was £70. you know, and then now it's like, and now we're creeping towards £80 and beyond, depending on like what games we're talking about. And like that, I think that is a factor, right? It's like if you see the reviews, like even though Mafia: The Old Country is only 50, it's like that's still a lot of money for a game that's average in the reviews. You know, do you know what I mean? When like
Yeah, no doubt.
when Claire Obscura is sat right next to it as one of the best reviewed games of the year at the same price or cheaper, I think.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. This is the thing about it. Like, yeah, I just think it's just like when you see a game that does just come out that down, Adora, down, shh, stay. When you see a game that doesn't get great review, quote unquote, great-ish reviews, that's what I'm saying. Like 6 to 7 out of 10 was 9 times out of 10 a good little benchmark to like say it's a game I can come back to, and then you get back to it, and it's you previously in the olden times and everything, maybe 10 years ago, and even if not more. Yeah, basically, yeah. It was a game that you could come back to and go, oh, yeah, that was pretty decent. I had a lot of fun with that type of thing. And now you just, because people's time is so finite, money is so finite, 6, 7 out of 10s don't even hack it. And now the thing is about it, though, I think it's going to happen when it comes, I think it's going to come close to when it hits 8 out of 10s as well. Where I think 8 out of 10s are not going to even hit the mark for a lot of people, where they're just going to be like, no, unless you're higher than that, and I'm not going to touch you, because this is the amount of money and time that I need to put into you, especially if you say you're 60, 70 quid, if not more. And I think like the GTA game next year, everyone's expecting it to be like 80 to 100 bloody quid and everything, which I think is just going to break the industry. Yeah, if they actually did that. Yeah, that's the thing about like, and then it just comes even more, just like we really are truly going to hit a part where it's, if it ain't a 9 or 10, it is not. I'm not interested type of thing.
Yeah, if it's not
that
game
and
of
that's
the year, like why am I bothering?
Yeah,
and it's like plenty of reasons. Like, you know, like it's kind of like this sickness almost at the heart of like the hobby, like of or the community, where it's just like, I swear to God, there is a game out there that is bad, quote unquote bad. And now whether a video game is good, can be good or bad, and like how we label them is a whole other discussion. So I'm just gonna gloss over that for this week. But like, whether a game is bad, I guarantee there's a game that out there that is considered bad that you will love. You, me, you, everybody listening to this, like, because like consensus opinion is kind of bullshit when you think about it. It's like, oh, the opinion, like Claire Obscura is a masterpiece, and yeah, I think that. I think it's an exceptionally good game. Vitz thinks that. Vitz thinks it's an exceptionally good game. Moody didn't like it very much.
No, I don't think I'd give it a lot of time. It just wasn't tickling that fancy at the time. It's not about criticism towards the game or anything. No. There were things that annoyed me, but I don't think I probably gave it. I wouldn't be able to say I can review that game.
You see where I'm coming from, though, right? It's like you played it and you were just like, nah. And like, it doesn't matter that the game is a 92 on OpenCritic or whatever. It's just like, it just wasn't the game that you were into. Whereas I would imagine conversely, there'll be a game where you pick it up and you play it and you're like, that was fucking really good. And it's like 62 or whatever. Like we had that happen with Lake. We played Lake. Like the Lake reviews came out. They weren't particularly complimentary. Both of us sat down and played the game, came back on this podcast, and were like, we really enjoyed that game. Here's why. Here are all of our reasons why. Like, we shouldn't be beholden to review scores, but we also shouldn't be beholden to the conversation with capital C, T, and C, because like it can warp this kind of thing. Because you were saying there, like, it could happen to games that are 8s and 9s, like. A lot of shit got talked about Dragon Age the Veilguard last year.
A lot of shit.
And there was a lot of posts and a lot of this and a lot of that pointing out, like, this is why the game is bad because of this and this and this and this. It's got an 82 on Metacritic. But you wouldn't think that based on on the tenor of this conversation that happened online about it, like the way the discourse went with the game online about it. And I'm not talking about bigoted idiots who think it's too political. I'm just talking about a lot of people came on social media and were like, the writing is shallow, and you know, the graphics are this and the gameplay is this, but using the yardstick that we're currently talking about on Metacritic, it's one of those 8 games. It's one of those 8 out of 10s. But you wouldn't
low
think
end
it.
though. Low end. I know what you're getting at there and everything like that. Thing is, when it came to Trailguard, that had an upward fight from the beginning, because when they released the trailer and showed the first gameplay, it was mixed straight away. It wasn't positive all on for the majority. It was very much divided. It was a divided game and a divisive game straight away, just from not anyone playing the bugger. They saw the trailer and everything like that, and they were just like, no, type of thing. Or they were saying, oh, that looks really cool, type of thing. Like me, I really enjoyed the trailer. I thought the CGI, the trailer that showed nothing really about the game, I had a lot of fun with about it, just because it really, I had a lot of, it was bouncy, it was a lot of fun, for me, it was engaging, and it nailed for me. But a lot of people really did not like that trailer, and then they showed the gameplay, and I enjoyed the gameplay, but then it was also a mixed bag for a lot of people then. So
I think the thing about it is, and this might be a different conversation, so feel free to like end this tangent as soon as it begins. I think trailers can be useful, but I don't like you have to have the controller, I think, in your hands and play a game to really understand whether it's going to be for you or not, which, you know, it's not easy when a game is like £70, right? And it's like, I'm going to drop £70 to understand like how good this game is for me.
Yeah,
like there's only so much you can get from a video of a game, because you're the one who has to play it.
Yeah, then that's completely. Yeah, it is a completely different topic there, no doubt about it. But yeah, you are spot on there when it comes to that, and it then comes down to just like,
and you'll always be surprised. I bought Metaphor Fantasio at full price last year as a person who loved Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal and just didn't enjoy it. There's no way I could have predicted that was going to happen until I played the game, and that was another best reviewed game of the year, game, you know.
Same for me for like Rebirth. I should never have done that. I was saying to myself, why are you doing this? Because you didn't enjoy Remake. And I'm just like, yeah,
it's a pretty big indicator.
No, but I think the worst thing is about it is that, and I'm a hypocrite when I say this. Just thinking, I fall to the foul sometimes of just like, I want to be part of the conversation. Sometimes, like both you and Vitz were talking about it and everything, and I'm just like, oh, I want to be part. That's why I don't really. But I think that game hit me so hard on the part of just like, why? It's not, you didn't care about it, the first one, and then you really not like this one. That's why I never really engaged when it came to Expedition. So I was like, I'm really glad you two are enjoying it or anything like that. I'll get to it if I want to get to it, type of thing. And,
but yeah, no, I can see why that would happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, two people in a group chat are like just fucking loving this thing. Like, I get it, right? It's like, God damn, I want to love this thing too. I want to be part of this conversation that these two people are having.
Yeah.
Even though
there wasn't enough love for Round, though. The game only could give the love to you two, and it said "fuck you, Moody."
Yeah, it said "fuck you, Moody."
And it happened again with Expedition.
Maybe the RPGs are the problem.
Fucking knew it.
But yeah, no, it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's definitely valid, 100%. Like, it's almost insidious how that like FOMO can take over your thinking and just override.
Yeah.
Like, you sitting here going, okay, I've not enjoyed games like this or games in this series in the past, but like, I want to like be a part of everybody's excitement, so I'm gonna dive in anyway. And then you don't like it, and you feel like shit when it happens.
Yeah,
like
you do.
You feel like there's something wrong with you, even though there's nothing wrong with you. It's just, this is not a game for you. Like, it happens to me all. Especially when I was a game reviewer, it used to happen to me all the time. Like, if I didn't like a game that was, you know, the consensus was, it was a critical success or whatever, and everybody loved it, and I didn't like it, I used to just sit there and go, "Fuck, what the fuck's wrong with me that I don't like this game that everybody else likes?" And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're just different. You don't like that type of game. You don't like this game specifically. It's fine.
I just want to say for the record that I don't ever think that. I always think the opposite is say, what the fuck's wrong with these people?
I think
like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? This ain't good.
I think that is. I think what we just did there is a personality test. What the fuck is wrong with all of you that you like this shit bullshit? It's like, and I'm just like, what the fuck's wrong with me? I don't like this.
Well, yeah, let us know, everybody. What are your thoughts? Are 6/7 out of 10 games becoming a dying phenomenon? Is 8 out of 10 games the next thing to hit that chopping board? I think there's a massive chance that there is and everything. Let us know.
When Moody and I were but younger, go with me on this one. When Moody and I were but younger, we didn't have all these Metacritics and OpenCritics and review aggregations and Jeff Keighley standing on a stage telling us which video games were good. We just had to pick the boxes up and look at the back of them and read and look at the screenshots to decide which game we were going to play. And life was better. And we enjoyed a lot more games. And what I would and that's part of what I think both of us have been trying to get back to for the past little while. And honestly, it is a better way of living.
No doubt. I'll tell you this. You want to know the reason why I picked this? Final Fantasy IX was the first Final Fantasy I ever played. I picked it. Yeah, I picked that game because one, the box art. I think the box art was really cool, and two, my logic was this. Oh, it's the 9th game. That means the franchise has got to be a good franchise. So, they can't be that bad. So, I picked the 9th Final Fantasy game.
Of them.
Yeah, they've made 9 of these fuckers. They can't be that bad.
And you know what?
It wasn't. It was a fucking masterpiece.
I picked up Dragon Age Origins. I bought Dragon Age Origins and played Dragon Age Origins because if you bought it, you got a code for some armor in Mass Effect.
Yeah. You told me this. Yeah.
And then I ended up loving Dragon Age more than Mass Effect. Like, we try to apply like logic and reasoning to things that really aren't necessarily logical or reasonable.
Yeah.
And I think that can be our downfall sometimes. As
people. It's a human terrible trait, no doubt. It's a human downfall, no doubt about it.
Moody once convinced me to play a game by sending me a single screenshot of like one line of dialogue.
I did, and it worked as well.
It's like sometimes, like all the reviews in the world, and all of the conversations on social media in the world cannot compare to one person who knows you.
Hear me, the game's gay. There.
And knows what you will respond to.
Tweak! Squeak!
Already downloading it.
And she did.
And I fucking loved the game. It was a great game.
It was a great game. OFK, go check it out, people.
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Great soundtrack as well.
I feel like that's my closing statement. It's just like don't necessarily ignore reviews altogether, but just be more open to a wider variety of experiences, and I guarantee you'll have a better time.
Mm-hmm. And when you get a friend who texts you and just one image,
if you have a friend,
you listen to that friend and you download that fucking game. That person knows you, and he knows you would like this game.
And speaking of recommendations. This is a thing we like to do on this podcast every week called Indie Game of the Week. And what we do is we tell you about a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think looks cool. And we think you maybe should wishlist it because you might like it. If you like indie games, scroll down at the description or wherever you're choosing to listen to and or watch this podcast. There is a link to the Words About Games Steam Curator page. What's on that page? Every single indie game of the week that we have ever done, which is well over 150 games at this point. It's a bargain. It's free. Clicking the link and scrolling through all those games is free. And hey, there's a lot of fucking good games on there. Even according to OpenCritic. This week's indie game of the week, though, is called The Killing Stone. Let me read you a little bit of the Steam Store description. Beat the devil at his own game. The Killing Stone is a deck-building card battler wrapped in a 17th century folk horror narrative. Clean the sins of a cursed family by bargaining against a series of demons and outwitting the devil himself. So many like keyword activations for me in that paragraph that I just read, where it's like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that too. Oh, this looks quite cool. This might be cool for me. It is by the developer Question, who have previously developed The Magic Circle, which is a game I really liked a lot. It came out, it's like 10 years ago now. Very meta game. If you know, The Magic Circle is a game where it's like, if you know about game development, I think you would find that game very amusing. It's very much a meta game about game development. About game development. It's very good. But this is the next one called The Killing Stone. You can scroll down into the description, click the link to go to the page. Have a look at it, watch the trailer, look at some screenshots, and wishlist the game. Wishlisting games is great, and everybody should do it way more often. It's good for the developer because of algorithms and bullshit that they have to deal with, and it's good for you because it means if you wishlist it, you'll never forget that it exists because Steam will email you when the game comes out.
It does.
It's a great system. Love it. But that's going to do it for Indie Game of the Week. And the first half of our podcast. Feel good about that.
Pardon?
I feel good about that.
What, the first half?
Yeah, I feel like the last time we were both like a bit tired and like we had to cancel the episode. So that was an improvement.
That was an improvement. Yeah. The place ain't on fire. Wait, this feels good.
We're back at it. We're back at it. We're in our rhythm.
Yeah. Does it feel weird that we haven't attacked Vitz though?
I feel like we've just been so like because we had a week apart for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like
it was weird.
It was strange. Like it was strange for me not doing the podcast last week. But I feel like we just have we're ready to go. And it's like, fuck, we could make jokes about Vitz going out to get the milk and not coming back and leaving us and abandoning us. But like, fuck that. Let's just have some cool conversations instead. I feel like that's where our heads at this week.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
We're doing so far. See
good.
what happens in the next topic.
I mean, maybe I'll make some sarcastic jabs when we get to OpenCritic Head-To-Head. Who knows?
Who knows?
I get my dice.
We all know Amy likes her sarcasm.
Nah, don't know what you're talking about.
What's good, everyone? I'm Vitz Patel. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, let's go.
It's time for Vitz Popstar, the video game and pop culture game show. Life is performance beyond. Enter your state of flow.
Catch Season 2 of Pixel Pop Stars on Twitch and YouTube at Vitz Patel.
What's up? We are back. Back at it like a bad habit. That's what Vitz always says.
He does say that.
I feel like if I just say things that Vitz always says, then maybe it'll be like he's actually here.
He's actually here.
Yeah.
He's actually here with us. Finally, at long last.
The spirit of Vitz lives on with us.
He's not dead, people. The story though.
No, he's not. That's why that's why I said the sentence so weird, because I was like, no, Amy, stop. Don't say that. It's
Not
too
like
late.
this.
I've already said it. Shit, what do I do? Abort. Do a barrel roll.
No. Not like this. Not like this.
We're back. It's fun to be back. I like talking video games with you. It's not many people I think I could do a podcast with for an extended period of time.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. And you're one of those people. So let's continue the podcast with my topic for the week. Funnily enough, like when you text me, like, what's your topic? This is my topic. And I text you back saying, my topic is this. Like, I'd already thought of it the night before. So, like, it's not inspired by your topic in any way, but I think it's funny that my topic is inspired by reviews that I have read.
Interesting.
Like,
I was wondering, was this a Sadie topic again?
No, this wasn't a Sadie topic again. Honestly, this is something that's been on my mind for a while. Like, I feel like, so the top level of the topic is like, how much should a remaster of a game change from the original version? And like, it's been on my mind for a while. I don't know how long, because it's just that we're getting a lot more remasters, like, as time goes on, like over the last few years. And obviously when those games
Got two coming out this next week. Sorry for putting in there.
No, that's fine. And obviously, like, as time, like, I don't, like, even though I've just spent an hour being like, don't necessarily read reviews and base your stuff on, like, I still, like, go on OpenCritic. I'm still interested to see what people say about all sorts of different games. And like, when it gets to remasters, there's always reviews that have specific sentiments in them that piss me off.
Okay.
About remasters specifically. And I'm not going to put anyone specifically on blast. I'm not going to be like, this person is a dick because they said this. Like, but what I want to do is there's a paragraph on an OpenCritic review for the recently released Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War Definitive Edition. That kind of encapsulates where I'm coming from in this, in sort of like with this question. And I feel like we can have a discussion based around the question that I've just asked. Because the paragraph reads as follows, quote, Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War Definitive Edition feels more like a repackaging than a true upgrade. While the Definitive Edition retains the qualities that make Dawn of War a beloved real-time strategy, it doesn't introduce meaningful innovations in gameplay. The changes focus mostly on updated visuals and audio, which may not feel substantial for returning players. For newcomers who never owned the original, this version is serviceable, but for veterans, it may not justify the purchase, end quote. Now, I read that, and I was a Dawn of War fan, like, back in the day. But, like, this isn't really about Dawn of War specifically, but I read that, like, and if I was someone who wanted to play Dawn of War in the year of our maker 2025, like, a definitive edition remaster sounds great. And I read that paragraph and everything they said, which has a negative slant placed on it, but I read that and go, that sounds perfect. That sounds like exactly what I want out of a remaster. Updated visuals, updated audio, not really making any changes to the game.
If the game didn't need any changes really needed, then yeah, I can understand where you come from with that. Yeah, no doubt. I guess it really comes down to, like, is the remasters also /dubbed remakes as well? Can we add that to the category as well?
Well, I think they're two.
Because I think they're basically the same thing for me for a lot of things. Because, like, the last Dead Space, the recent Dead Space, it was dubbed as a remake, not a remaster. Mm-hmm. And it was basically the same game. Yes, they threw in a couple of new tweaks. Obviously, Isaac could talk. They fixed the terrible turret meteor thing apart for the game. But the rest of the game was pretty much the same. And it played a lot more better at the same time. But I would still say it was very much the first Dead Space.
I mean,
with a couple of little things tweaked.
I think there is a blurred line in sort of like remake / remaster territory. Like, I think a good example of... I think a good example of like, sort of like both in terms of like what doesn't have blade lines, I'm going to use 2 Resident Evil games. The first one being like Actually, I could use one Resident Evil remake, like the original Resident Evil, PlayStation 1, 1996, and then it got a remake for GameCube in the early 2000s, like full remake. Like it's definitely
Visually,
Resident Evil 1, but it's a very different game. And then that game was remastered in 2015, Resident Evil HD remaster, and it's essentially the GameCube version of the game running on modern platforms, modern at the time. And what the changes have been, we've added, we've just redone the visuals so that it looks good on a modern screen, right? Like an HD screen, because the GameCube wasn't an HD console, and like. That's kind of like where I sort of fall into the difference of like, right, like a remake is what they did the first time with it, and then the remaster is what they did the second time with it. The HD remaster is the GameCube game running in high definition on a PlayStation 4 or on Steam on a modern PC.
So Last of Us to the Last of Us remake.
Yeah, basically.
Or remaster.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just so I know. So So what? You basically so are you asking how much needs to be changed or updated? Because he obviously that the quote you said that you used was a very negative quote towards the game. Now he sounded like he does enjoy.
Yes, like the part that I take issue with is the negative slant to Dawn of War doesn't introduce meaningful innovations in gameplay. It's like, if it's a Dawn of War remaster, I don't want it to introduce meaningful innovations in gameplay. I want to play Dawn of War like with modern, like I want to play Dawn of War with like modern, not necessarily modern graphics, but just like modern, like on like, so it's not like the original game like blown out. You know how like I'll play like fucking when I plug my Sega Saturn into my HD TV and it's like, what the fuck am I even looking at, right? Like, it's like I just want to play. Like, when I'm playing a remaster of a game, I essentially what I want is just the game running in high definition and like playable on whatever, my PS5, on Steam, whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me, no, I don't I think I kind of partially I agree with you on the part of this like. I want the same game basically, maybe visually better, but I don't really want really massively improvements because I think the game already doesn't need it type of thing. Like Mass Effect. When they did the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, it does nothing different to those games whatsoever. I think they tweaked the visuals on 1 to the best of their abilities, and I think they tweaked the little bit of gameplay that they could for it, but for what it was at the time, they couldn't really do much apart from basically doing a whole remake in general. And that was never going to happen for it. So, and you had all the content for that game, all the DLC, the whole shebang, and everything from all 3 games. So that's basically what I would want. It's like for dubbed as a remaster and everything. And like when it came to like the Last of Us, I knew what I was going to get, and you could see the visual update to that. When it came to the remaster, not the remake that happened a couple of last year or 2 years ago, the remaster, there was a noticeable difference in everything, but it was still the same game for that. And like, so I wouldn't want anything meaningful different to it. I want the game that I basically knew I wanted.
Yeah, like the original game that I played for better and worse, right? Like.
Yeah,
like I'm not saying Dawn of War. I haven't played it for fucking a million years, right? It's like if I was gonna play it now, it's like I probably don't really know what's in that game apart from like the very like surface level stuff that I remember from playing it. It's just it like and I'm not even sitting here being like, yeah, remakes suck. You should just give me the original game. It's like, no, like I don't mind the existence of remakes. Like Resident Evil 2 remake was a phenomenal remake. Like it's a fantastic game, but I do consider both of those games different. Like they're 2 different games.
They are
like,
different. Yeah.
Whereas like if you were like, we're bringing Resident Evil 2, we're remastering it for for the PlayStation 5, and then you gave me Resident Evil 2 Remake, I'd be like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? What the fuck? Like, this is not the original game. And like, I see the sentiment in a lot of reviews for remasters in general, and it's irked me for a long time. And I was just like, I'm finally gonna ask the question and see, am I the crazy one, like, who sees a review of a remaster of a game that bemoans the fact that the game hasn't changed, and be like, good? Like, I'm glad the game hasn't changed.
Yeah, it's like all didn't Witcher 3 get remastered? Like re-brought back out in a new version with all its DLC. I guess that could be considered more. They updated the visuals. They did like a massive update to it. I guess could be considered a remaster, quote unquote. Didn't change anything to the game. They just visually up-resed it and made it visually more appealing when it was high up to modern visuals. But they kept the gameplay how it is and everything, and also it's just like, yeah, they didn't change anything, and that's still got nothing but great reviews. When the people decided we must review this game for some weird ass reasons, it's like
traffic.
Well, I know reasons, yeah, I know the reasons, but it's still like stupid. It's still stupid reasons at the same time.
We're going to review it like it's a completely different thing.
It's like, yeah, it's like, what's the difference from the opinion you did before?
Different reviewer. More than likely, given the turnover in the gaming space, it's probably definitely a different reviewer.
Oh, it will be, no doubt. But no, yeah, it's like we get a lot of remasters these days. Like we've got 2 coming next week. Gears of War and obviously Metal Gear. Metal Gear, I would say, is more on the
Metal Gear.
Well, I can't really say this because I haven't played the game, and they're very adamant. It sounds like it's very much just the same game, just more visually more rezzed up and everything. It sounds like it, but I'd be very interested to see what people's opinions are on that type of game for it. Gears of War just sounds like it's just Gears of War again, just higher visuals and everything like that. Doesn't appeal to me whatsoever, but it's going to appeal to the hardcores of Gears of War, which have been aching for that type of game to be rezzed up. Don't know why they hate 2 or 3, but either way, it's like they forgot. They say this trilogy is so perfect, but you never hear anything about 2 or 3 getting upgraded or anything like that. So they can't have been that great. I don't know. I'm being mean there, but either way,
fuck you, Gears of War.
But no, it's an interesting little topic. There's no doubt about it. I think it's just what does that person expect the remaster to be? Because it sounds like what that person expects is a remake.
Yeah, which is valid. Like, like it would be cool to see what a Dawn of War remake could look like, right? Like, I'm not necessarily discounting that opinion out of hand. It's more just like review, like talking, like being fair to the game that you get. You know what I mean? Like, one of my maxims when I used to review games, and one of my maxims when I make video essays about games, is to talk about the game that you have, not the game that you wish you had, if that made sense. Like, it's not fair to be critical of a game because it didn't do something that I wanted it to do, like 80% of the time, right? Like, if I'm going into reviewing a remaster of a game, like, review it on those terms. It seems like I'm just having another go at reviews, but I'll switch tracks a bit, just because I think you've mentioned Metal Gear a few times, and I think it's reminded me of the funny thing that happened when the Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3. I don't know what they were. They were definitive editions or whatever that came out. Like, there was a collection of the first 3 games that came out. They came out on Steam, and I remember thinking, cool, like, this is cool because, like, I don't have a platform to play Metal Gear on, and if I wanted a platform, like, now I do. Like, if I wanted to buy those games and play them. And I remember they got negative reviews on Steam, and I just automatically, and this is my bad, I just automatically, without thinking, thought, oh, the games must be bad ports. And that's on me. Like, I made assumptions based on Konami's track record with remastering games. But it's funny, a lot of the criticisms on Steam, on those Steam reviews, were basically, this Metal Gear game looks terrible. It looks like a PS1 game. And when I
The
when I
thing they
learned,
said they were going to give you.
yeah, and when I learned that was what the crack was, I was like, "Are you fucking serious right now? It is a PS1 game. Like, what the hell do you want?" And you want a remake, like, and it is that kind of like you touched upon it with this particular reviewer. It's like it sounds like you wanted a remake, and it's like, yeah, it sounds like you wanted a remake of Metal Gear Solid. Which no, this is never going to be that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like when it comes to Metal Gear, I think Metal Gear Solid is the next thing they're going to do. I
Sure,
do think
why
they're
not?
going to remake it. Like if Delta is a success, which I can't see why it won't be, just because of the brand recognition itself. Unless people are still tickled up to the nines about Kojima and everything about it not being a part of it. I think it's going to sell incredibly well, probably still. Excuse me, and then they'll get the remake that they want. Maybe.
I want to see. I like one thing I'm interested in. This is a total tangent of the topic, but one thing I'm really interested in with Metal Gear 3 is like I want to see people who have never played Metal Gear before and like don't know anything about Metal Gear 3. I want like a compilation of like all of these people first time when they climb the ladder, the big ladder. For like whatever 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever it is, while the song's going, like, what a thrill, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be very funny. That's a complete tangent.
That would be very funny.
I just think people are gonna have interesting reactions to that if they've kept it in the game, which I hope they have. But yeah, no, yeah, like for me personally, I think what I want out of any remaster, of any remaster project of that any developer is doing, is I want to play a game I can't play on my PS5. I'm just going to use PS5 as like the focal point because that's the one current generation console that I have. Like, I want to play a game that I can't play currently on modern hardware, and I just want to be able to play it on modern hardware.
Yeah, which is fair.
Whereas, like, you can remake a game, and that's cool. Like, as long as you make a good remake. Like, I'm interested in where some of these the Sega games, like all the Sega games that they're currently remaking, I'm interested to see where those go because, like, there's some really cool games in that pile. But I also have the Sega Mega Drive collection, like on my PS5, where it's like I can just play Phantasy Star or I can just play Sonic the Hedgehog or Golden Axe. That's cool too, and they're the original games. And I would never be mad that they didn't, you know, make new gameplay for Sonic 3. It's like, no, that's not what I wanted or was expecting out of this package.
I get that.
Fuck would a remake of Sonic the Hedgehog look like? Like
open world, baby.
The thought just ran through my brain where I was like, how the fuck would you remake that game?
Because
like
that open
Sonic
world
Frontiers.
game was a success for them, I think. It would be that. Guaranteed. Full on.
Yeah, shit. That would be something. Open
That
world,
would be something, no
open
doubt.
world chemical plant zone.
It's going to be it's I guess it just comes down like at the beginning of what I asked, thinking, should we add remakes to this conversation to it because of just like it does sound like it's a competition of just like what do people want at the end of the day, overall and everything, which is there's no wrong answer to it. And if that person wants a remake overall, I hope maybe they'll get a remake one day for that game and everything, and you can go back and review the game and maybe not bitch about it for no reason at all.
No,
I get the reason why it irked you,
No,
because like I agree, you should be focusing on the game that you review and not voting on thinking about what should have happened.
Yeah, like I just sorry when you said oh then they'll review the game, and I was like, and then the review will be, oh, this is nothing like God of War that I remember. It's like, fuck. But yeah, I think it's good that we've had this talk for the reason that like we have together pinpointed what actually irked me about it, which is just like, you review what's in front of you. Don't write fan fiction. in a review, I guess. To put a catchy like phrase on it. It's like Dragon Age, the Veil Guard doesn't have good first person shooting mechanics. Like, no shit.
Yeah.
It's not a first person shooter.
Like, I'd be worried if someone wrote that. What game were you playing?
Do you know which part of Dragon Age the Veil Guard is my favorite? The turret sections. It does have turret sections. It's crazy. It's been 2 so far.
What?
No, yeah. You get on a ballista and you shoot on it. It's not like a machine gun or anything. It's just like it's a ballista. But like, yeah, twice now. Like,
that sounds awful.
I mean, it's like 30 seconds long. You break a wall, and then some dudes come out and you shoot them, and they go because you're firing a ballista at them, and then you get off the ballista, and then you, in my case, drop kick them off the cliff.
This is Sparta.
Yeah, something like that. It's an interesting game, but yeah, no, I thought it was an interesting question. I didn't expect you to necessarily disagree with my point, but I thought we could have an interesting discussion about it. Like, remasters don't need to change anything like too much. Like, and at the same time, like, I'm not against things like extra accessibility options to be added to older games like that are remastered, right? It's like I'm not saying like a hard no on like gameplay changes. Like I remember the Resident Evil HD remaster added a new control scheme when they brought it out, because obviously the original was tank controls. And then I don't know how to describe the difference, but they added that second control scheme, which was just like whichever direction you point the analog stick in is the direction the character will move, which is not how tank controls worked. And a lot of people preferred that, you know, and like cool, that's good. It means more people can play the game, and I like that. That's a good addition, but it's also an optional addition, right? Like I don't have to turn that on if I don't want to. And I want to play with my tank controls that I remember from when I was a kid, and I really like them, and everybody keeps talking shit about them. Oh no!
I think it's just because they haven't aged well.
I don't know. I think it's just the way the games were made, and you know, you either like them or you don't. It's whatever. Like,
true.
But yeah, like adding stuff like that, that's cool. Like, go for that, right? Like when you play Halo, the Master Chief Collection, and you can play the first game, and you can push the button to turn on the old graphics or the new graphics, depending on which one you want, or you can just switch between them at will. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, I like that.
It's a nice little element, no doubt about it. I don't disagree, even though I hated it when we played it, because I was like, oh my god, what the fuck did they do to this game?
Yeah, turned it on.
Was this what it really looked like? Oh my god.
Turned it on for about 10 seconds, and we're like, ah!
Something like that, yeah.
And then I had to go into his room and turn it back off again for him, because he was just like frozen in fear. No, man, it's okay. The old graphics can't hurt you. just don't push Y.
Now, can you put a sprint mechanic on?
No.
But don't push it.
No, that's too
They get up these fucking visuals, but they can't put a sprint mechanic in.
Now we're in a remake territory.
That's not remake territory. That's a mix. That's an accessibility territory. Yeah, we're making it better for Moody to play.
I don't know if making the game go faster is going to make it more accessible. Slowing it down would make it more accessible.
I would have got out of it faster. I would have stopped being tortured for me.
Just play it on a supercomputer and turn the frame rate up. There you go. Boom, the game's going faster.
All right. NASA, I need your supercomputer.
I need to play Halo.
I need to play Halo. Give us that ultra fast, whatever size number internet you have over there. Give it now. Unless Trump's took that, then never mind.
No.
He probably has.
You said the G word. Abandoned ship.
The Orange Man, sorry. The Orange Man may have took that. Who knows?
Who knows these days? Yes, in conclusion, everybody should make the games that I want them to make. and not make the games that I don't want them to make. I think that's what I've learned today.
I would also say just don't read people's reviews sometimes.
Like when I say it pisses me off. It's not like a thing I'm seething. This isn't Time Magazine says Resident Evil 3 is the worst Resident Evil game. Like I'm not holding a grudge about it. Like
this isn't people's opinions of Lake.
This isn't people's reviews of Lake. That cost me OpenCritic. That cost me Fantasy Critic. Like this is
other games that have cost you Fantasy.
Oh, there were lots of other games, but like I blame the Lake review specifically. No, it's not something that I'm like seething over or like holding a grudge over. It's just like I read it and I'm just like, really, and then I go on with my day. But it made good fodder for a podcast discussion. But yes, I think that's the moral, the true moral of episode 465 of the Words About Games podcast is do not read reviews.
I think that's
make your own opinion. Boom. We just solved video game discourse. How do you feel?
We've solved video games at long last. Who knew two people like us would have been the ones to do it?
We did it. Took us 465 episodes, but
it did.
We've solved video game discourse. We don't need to discourse anymore.
We do not.
3 simple words. 4 simple words. Make your own opinions. And then don't share them with anybody.
That's true. Just don't. Don't tell anybody your opinions.
Don't start fights with people because they have different opinions.
Yeah.
Mostly me. I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of hearing it. I think I've heard it all at this point.
I'll just do what I do and just ignore you. Ignore the bad opinion.
Yeah, to completely like derail this entire podcast segment. You know, I still occasionally get people who are mad. They click on the ranking Resident Evil PowerPoint presentation video and get mad that it's not a serious ranking of Resident Evil.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Even though I'm pretty sure I made that clear like within the first 5 minutes of the video. I was like, look.
This is going to be nothing but sarcasm.
Amy lost her fucking mind.
Somehow brought Pokemon into it just to try and annoy Moody.
It wasn't to annoy you. If you remember what I said in the presentation, it was to make sure you were still awake.
I was awake
because I was worried I was going to lose you.
You lost me.
And I thought if
you did lose me.
And I thought if I said the word Pokemon several times, I would bring you back.
Yeah, I like Resident Evil. It's all good.
Yeah, I didn't. Shotgun a lot of ridiculous opinions about Resident Evil, but all at once.
I would just put in the comments. This is not a serious review critique, guys.
Oh yeah, I left one of them up, didn't I?
This ain't serious. It's sarcasm. It was literal fun because we raised money for an awesome charity. So go away.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Look, I know you don't know me, but this is my brand. This is what I do. Mm-hmm. Even when I make serious videos about serious topics, such as the Elden Ring difficulty video, I'm still going to lose my fucking grip on reality partway through the edit and put in a Star Trek clip with a smiley face on it. Because
I think that's fair.
That's just who I am. And you can either learn to accept that or click on a different YouTube video. That was fun.
It was fun. It was fun indeed.
I love it when we solve the big issues.
It's first world problems, and we have to solve it.
Who else is going to solve it?
That's true.
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley clearly did it. All I heard was the show was too long and boring. So, which is a Jeff Keighley show. So,
when you shared the story about the Gamescom trailers, I didn't I was busy when you shared it, and I kind of glanced out at the notification on my phone, and I thought it was like, here's everything that was at Gamescom, and I was like, no, he's not going to want to talk about Gamescom, please no. And then
no.
And then I read it, and I was like, oh, I was like, don't do this to me.
Don't do this to me, Moody. No. I do not want or even need to talk about fucking that moron, so it's all good.
Cool.
I will say this. That Lego Batman game looks awesome.
I'll check that out. Hollow Knight and Star Trek. Those are the only two things I know happened
That's fair. That's
this
fair.
week. It's weird how like someone I work with asked me about it on the day. They were like, "It's Gamescom," and like they didn't really know how like showcases worked specifically, but they knew that there was going to be a World of Warcraft thing at Gamescom. Because they'd heard about it and they want to see it because they're a big World of Warcraft fan. So naturally, because they know I make podcasts and live streams and video essays, they were like, Amy will know. And to be fair, I do. Like, we used to react to those things and do those things. So I was like, yeah, it'll be tonight. I'm not 100% on the time because it's in fucking Germany, which is on like, European time. But like it'll start and then it'll be a bunch of trailers like back to back to back. And I was explaining how it worked. And then I just happened to mention, just don't ask me like specifically because I'm not going to watch it. And the look of like pure shock. It's like, but I thought that would be your thing. Like that you definitely watch it. And I was like, I mean, I used to years ago. And then I realized I could be a happier and more centered person if I didn't. And it worked.
It does. It really, really does. I completely forgot it was Gamescom until I saw something in my work chat.
So yeah, it was one of those things where it was like the only reason I was even aware that Gamescom was happening was because I obviously I have a lot of game developer mutuals and friends who were all talking about how they were going to Germany. And like I put two and two together. I was like, oh yeah, Gamescom, right?
Gamescom, yeah.
Like if I didn't have that, I would have just been like, no idea. Why is everyone talking about Silk Song? But yeah, it is funny how much I've like extricated myself from like watching showcases and how much it hasn't interrupted the flow of my life in any way.
No, it doesn't. No doubt.
Because
no doubt.
Did you not feel like, when we did everything, when we were watching like all the E3s and like if we weren't in the same room together, we would be on Discord like and like doing like, not necessarily for you because I know you didn't like stay up that late watching Game Awards, but you'd watch Game Awards the next day and then we talk about it. Did it not feel vital when we were doing it? Like it was something we had to do? Because for me, that's what it felt like.
That comes back to the thing, like what I said about being part of the conversation. That's the thing about it. It's just at the time, because of how prevalent watching these type of things were at the time, because I don't think it is now compared to what it used to be. The need to be part of that conversation is no longer there. At least for me, it isn't, which is a good thing.
Right? It's like I have to know what all of these games are.
Yeah,
and it turns
and
out,
I'm not even going to remember half of them.
Yeah, it's like especially post lockdown, like where it was like the volume of game trailers we were shown like increased dramatically from like 2020 onwards, right? And it was like we used to say like we'd watch these things for like say a combined total of like 12 hours over the course of like a week, and remember 30 minutes worth of trailers, between us, right? Like different trailers would pop and stuff, and it's just like it used to feel like I had to do it. And like I think that's why for the longest time I didn't let it go. Like even when it got to the point where I was fucking sick of it. Like when we do a Game Awards thing, and I was the one that watched it live when we did it on the podcast, and like half my point would be this show fucking sucks. I'm sick of watching it. And then like to just let it go, and then just like this has had no meaningfully negative impact on my life. Why didn't I do this years ago? It was such a strange revelation.
Yeah, it's I think the thing is about it, there hasn't been, I would say, quote unquote, a good one to watch for years now. For years. Like what we've spoken about before, ages ago, of like the hype that was when it was E3, the hype then when the PlayStation conferences were coming up, or and the Xbox conferences were coming up, and everything, and we had the knockout blows from PlayStation at 2013, and then a couple of years later they had one of the best conferences ever when they showed God of War and everything, and everything. Like they were the ones to reveal Final Fantasy Remake, which was arguably one of the biggest things shown that year, and everyone's just like, "Oh my fucking god, they're finally doing it," type of thing. But then when like the companies themselves said this ain't as important as you guys make it out to be anymore, because Sony went, "See ya." Nintendo went, "See ya." Xbox,
guys.
"See ya."
Well, Xbox were like, we're just gonna go down the street.
We're just gonna go around the corner and everything. And when they stopped doing it, and then obviously I think it would have been still going if the pandemic didn't happen. But when the pandemic obviously all properly kicked in and everything, it just spread it up even faster, and everyone was just like. And then Jeff Keighley came in like the High Lord and Savior he thinks he is, and went, "I can save us all.
I can take E3 and I can make it boring."
Yeah, and uninspiring and uninteresting, and just lacks any moral compass whatsoever.
And it does kind of suck, right? Because it's a big stage where a lot of really cool people get to show their work. And I do kind of miss that part, right? Where it's like, I always feel really like glad for like the people that I know who get to like have a trailer come up, like a showcase, and get all excited, like, "Hey, look, this is the thing that I'm working on." Like, that's really cool. But goddamn, I can't even, I can like, and I've reached a point where I can barely drag myself through a fucking 20-minute PlayStation Presents. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gotten to that point where I'm just like, I could be doing anything else right now.
Yeah. No doubt, yeah. Like, I don't think I didn't watch the last State of Play, I don't think, but I obviously, I obviously did like checked up on things and games and everything like that after the showcase, and like obviously I think me and Vitz did the review for it because it was before quote unquote the summer shit fest and everything. You were off that because it was your birthday. It was your birthday, and everything. And then you've got. Yeah, it's just it's gone. I don't think the hype is there anymore. Obviously, I think we're obviously in a completely different place in our lives at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like, we've actively pulled out from the games industry or social media-ness, the content creatorness. Even though what we are doing here is quote unquote content, quote unquote content creation, we don't consider it as that because we're just two people having a chat.
Yeah, I think like we crashed out a few years ago. I remember that one podcast where Joe was on and we were just fucking done with everything. And I think since then, we have made that very like strong conscious effort to just be like, we need to change the way we do things.
Yeah.
Or we're fucked.
Yeah.
I think we did. I think we spent a long time changing everything about the podcast, and I think it's for the better, right? Instead of being like, what bullshit news can we talk about this week? It's like, no, let's have a discussion about, game reviews and remasters, like, because that's what we feel like talking about. Not necessarily being like, oh, what's Jeff Keighley done this week? Always remembered women exist, like we would have done like a few years ago. Mm-hmm. I do miss the. I will admit to missing like when, and this was obviously pre-pandemic stuff, where it was like when I used to get a bunch of us in a room and just have fun watching the showcases. Like, that was fun.
No doubt.
Enjoyed that.
No doubt. But that's when that was all happening, we were all in a quote unquote good place with the quote unquote companies. I think at the end of the day, obviously we were all very negative towards Microsoft right now and Xbox with how they're handling things, and just in the games industry, and obviously outside the games industry with Israel and everything. And then you throw in every other company that's been nothing but killing the industry by doing all the layoffs and everything. And I'm not saying layoffs weren't happening at that part either, but they are more significant than they ever been. They're more prevalent now than they ever were.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think we, at the time, fairly or unfairly, hypocritically, massively probably, we were probably letting some of it slide, quote unquote, when it came to our critiques to it. Now we're just like, you're a piece of shit, you shouldn't be doing this. Type of thing. You're ruining people's lives. Why the hell? Type of thing. You know, type and everything. Like I remember like when I was doing my own podcast was like I was all gun ho for Disney buying 21st Century Fox at the time. Like Disney were riding high. I stand by that I'm still a massive Disney fanboy to it, but I'm very much more hands off-ish towards them compared to what they are now. And I was probably not as critical as I probably should have been then and everything like that.
Yeah.
And compared to what I am now to the day. Even though I don't think still, I think I dance around it sometimes, I think, when it comes to criticalness, when it comes to Disney.
Yeah. I mean, whereas I made a Facebook
and I need to
post
stop that. I need to stop.
I made a Facebook post when they closed LucasArts saying, fuck you, Disney.
You did.
I got in a lot of trouble for that.
I didn't do anything.
I don't even think I knew you then.
yeah, that was supposed to game before that. But not all of me probably would have said, "What the fuck did you just say to my Disney?"
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
Disney are the greatest things ever. They're going to save Star Wars. Oh yeah, everyone's loving them right now about Star Wars. We're getting the brand new trilogy. It's going to be fucking awesome. Even though we have no outlines, no directors, no scripts, we just know it's going to be fucking awesome.
Maybe I'm just a modern day prophet.
You're the head of. You've stated it before. I mean, you're ahead of the curve.
Sometimes. So let's be fair.
Sometimes ahead of the curve.
I have been hilariously,
wrong,
catastrophically wrong a lot as well.
Yeah, no doubt. No, yeah, it's like we are completely different to a lot of the companies now. Like when we are very negative towards Jeff.
Yes.
How he handles it, how he does the show, and everything. Apparently, he's a great guy, a very nice guy, and everything like that.
Yeah,
but
sure,
how he comes across on the show and everything, he's not engaging. He's comes across very self-centered, I think, personally. And it also seems very, like I've always said, how I've been stated for a while, it's just like, it just seems like it's nothing but to scratch his own ego, which just doesn't help and just makes it not an enjoyable show.
Yeah, and I guess that does have a knock-on effect into like the enjoyment of the show itself, even in the parts that are good, right? Like
yeah, and it's just like, but also all the companies are also just like, we don't need to do this type of thing as much anymore. That's why you don't really see a lot of like quote unquote showcases or anything about E3, even though E3's dead and everything. You know what I mean? Like
E3 is all year long now. It's everywhere.
Like I remember when obviously COVID was kicking off in the 2020, and we were just like, what's going to happen with what's happening? Like, how are they going to how are they going to show the games and everything?
How are they going to make the games? How are they going to show?
And he came in, and he came in like a high Lord and Savior and everything to do all these things and everything, and he was highly praised. And I'll stand by. I think he deserved the praise he got and everything, because we're in a very difficult time going on in our lives and everything. And he was just trying to help developers get their game out or show their game off for people and everything. But it's just, since then it's gone to his head, and I don't think it's as like his shows have just gone slowly just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, to what I know, like I said, I haven't seen the show. I don't know, but I'm only going off what I've seen from like people online and everything like that, which really could go anywhere when it comes to online and everything. But the highest praise everyone says is the pre-show. He's not on it.
That was Kyle. That was Kyle Portsman.
That's Kyle. Yeah, it was Kyle that I heard. And I was thinking, and I'm just like, wait. I think they're telling you something there now alone. So you had a half an hour pre-show, and then you had a massive 2-hour showcase of games that just like a lot of people already know about and everything. And I don't know. I think it's just like we're too in it still. I think people need to step further back from it and stop giving him too much high lord. And it's like, he's not as loved in the industry as people may think he is. He is not. I can literally vouch for that.
spilling some tea here. Fucking I'm gonna have to delete my social media and turn the comments off.
And I don't even read you guys, so don't worry about me.
You don't get the notifications on your phone for YouTube.
That's true. That's true.
I get them all.
You get them all.
I find most negative comments funny. I'm not.
I do as well.
I have a good chuckle when they come up on my phone. There was a few on the Elden Ring video. There's this great button on YouTube Studio that I can push that just it hides comments from everyone except the person who posted it. So the person who posted it still thinks their comment is up, but it's not actually up. No one else can see it. I love that button. I think it's the greatest.
YouTube has a decent feature for once.
I think it's the greatest thing you can do on YouTube.
apart from
put videos on it.
No, for me, the greatest feature they need to sort out is a block button. Like, this content creators, I get short all the time, and I'm just like, just because I watched one little thing that wasn't even a part of their thing, but because they've talked about it, I'm then getting recommended them. I don't want to be recommended these assholes.
My favorite one, and it's not like a being recommended assholes one, is like, so the only thing I really watch on Twitch is Games Done Quick, right? So it's like a week-long thing. Fucking so many different games, right?
Yeah.
Twitch assumes that I want to watch streams of all of these different games. So I'll just get the most random fucking stream recommendations. It'll be like, based on your viewing history, we think you might like watching this streamer play, whatever fucking weird-ass PlayStation 1 game. And it's like, no, I was watching GDQ and there was a stream of this game.
Like, go away.
You've really got the wrong end of the stick here. And obviously, like, I as it's well known, I have a burner account on YouTube for when I need to go and watch
into the dark web.
When I need to go into the dark web and watch terrible people say terrible things. And the recommendations on that particular feed are hilarious.
I can imagine.
It's just, there's a reason I shoved all this onto a different account. That poor account. It's seen some shit.
It's an abuse account.
It's just abuse. All the way down.
Yeah.
When I want to abuse myself, I switch to this other. And on that note,
when I feel like getting slapped in the face,
when I feel like I want to throw myself into a wood chip, I play OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. This is the stupidest, like, of the top. Considering the topics of the conversation on the podcast, this is the funniest thing we could possibly segue into at the end. We're going to try and guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever gets as closest to the point at the time, closest to the review score at the time of recording gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Sword of the Sea. And Vitz, what you'll see I've done here is, when you finished doing the episode, I went into the Google Doc and I put my number in. I
can confirm this. I was keeping an eye on it.
It's really not that hard. Moody guessed it we had an 88. I guessed it we get an 81. Vitz guessed it we get an 85. At the time of recording, Sword of the Sea has an OpenCritic average of 87, which means Moody gets a point, and good for them. Honestly, good for them.
It started lower. It was at an 81, and then it went up, and I was like, oh, wow.
It's one of those rare
They did the same thing as what PlayStation did with their consoles in America. They went up.
Uh-oh. So that puts the scores at Vitz 12, Amy 19, Moody 31, with 3 draws this week. Few games to do. I added one this week. I added a surprise.
I've added another one as well.
With you? It hasn't updated on my phone. There's 3 games on mine. My end.
There's 4 now.
Fucking hell, man, phone. Well, first of all, it's Gears of War Reloaded, and I'm going to need to say the number, and I'm going to need you to type the number in, because as we've established previously, when I've had to use my phone to run the show, I can't fucking update the damn thing.
I'm going to do this for you.
Has it updated? Yes, I do. Is this not already got reviews?
What, Lost Soul aside?
Yes. Or
I don't think so.
Am I just making that up?
I think you're making that up.
I might just be making that up. It's easy. to
I'll have a quick look for you.
No, it doesn't. Okay, cool. No, it doesn't.
No,
We're
it
good.
does not.
We're good. We're good. So, but the first one we're going to do is Gears of War Reloaded. What was the name of Active Reloaded? Active Reload. They should have called it that. Actively Reloaded. That was the mechanic. I'm going to guess Gears of War Reloaded is going to get an 80. No, that'll do. 80.
80.
80. Vitz is going
What do
to
you
guess.
think
It's going
Vitz
to
will
get 69. Now, you might not be able to guess this, but there's going to be a theme with Vitz's guesses this week. See if you can spot it.
Maybe. I'm gonna pick. Next up is Metal Gear Solid
Oh,
Delta.
sorry, you cut
Snake
out there. What did you pick for Gears of War?
84.
All right, cool. It didn't come
Did I
through.
cut out there, did I?
No, it didn't come through on my headphones. So I was like, you just sort of went, I'm gonna get Metal Gear. Wait, what? Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, also known around these parts as Metal Gear Solid Triangle Snake Eater. I'm gonna guess a 90 for this one. I think this is a beloved game. I think people are going to review it really highly. Vitz is going to guess a 69.
69. And I'm going to guess an 89.
Nice. Plus 20.
I was going to pick 90. I won't lie.
No, fair. Next up, we've got Shinobi Art of Vengeance. There's a lot of old school 2D action games coming out this year. Yeah, like, with the Ninja Gaidens and the Shinobis and stuff, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja. It's like, it's interesting, for that. If you love, you must be eating well if you love that kind of game.
Yeah, those type of players are eating well this year so far.
I love that for.
What are you going for?
I am going to go for an 83, please, and thank you. And Vitz is going to
Let me guess. Has it got a 6 and does it have a 9 in it?
It does, yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
I don't know how you guessed that.
I don't know how either. I'm gonna go. They are eating well this year. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, the games have been doing well as well. Like,
yeah, there's the thing. Yeah, like, I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna go 85.
Nice.
And the last one, Lost Soul aside.
Lost Soul aside. I'm just scrolling through screenshots. I'm gonna go with a 79, please, and thank you. And Vitz is gonna guess 96.
96.
See what I did there? I built everyone's expectations up so then I could do a reversal at the end.
You did indeed. I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be higher than 79.
You got to keep them on my toes,
Yeah, I'm gonna go 80. Yeah, I'll go 81.
Cool.
Yeah, go 81.
I mean,
Well,
these are 4 games that are going to be cool, regardless of what review scores they get. They're going to be good for whoever they're good for.
That's true. Like, Gears of War, first time on PlayStation, so it's going to get a brand new audience that haven't played the game who want to give the game a go. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Go and have a go. Go and have a smash on it, people.
Go and have a smash. Go and have a smash on it.
Go and have a smash.
Go on. You deserve it. Go and have a smash.
You definitely deserve it.
You
Go and have a smash.
And we're going to let you have that smash by closing out
We
the
will
podcast
indeed.
with Moody's Time to Shine.
Hello, everybody. Be proud you made it. Another smash is behind you. Another week has also passed.
I kept my face. I kept a straight face through the whole thing, and then you fucking ambushed me like that.
But do you want to know what else you have? Is a smash that is for you to decide. Let it fly, your heated fury, because it's time to smash. We all welcome each other from far and wide. We'll be helping each other smash all the way. Go live your best life. It all starts from level 1. Now go high five that sky. Live long and prosper. Roll into them titties. The journey is yours, and it starts with a smash.
I mean, we're talking about Smash Brothers, right?
Of course.
Oh, yeah, good. Then we're on the same page.